Hey everyone, I hope everyone's having a nice day. Um, Welcome to our new followers and subscribers. After last night, we got a couple new subscribers. So, if you guys are watching, thank you for subscribing. And also, Lance Sam Show, thank you so much for hosting us. We appreciate it a lot. Thank you for hosting our channel. Cool. So yesterday we worked on we worked on our parser. So our trees parser is currently almost done. We have made all the necessary changes that we can to start using it. So we could start using it. We started using it for our bot account. Alright. So we started using it for our bot account. The issue that happened was I noticed that when we got raided again yesterday. So when we got raided, I noticed that we got stuck here. So for some reason this line here is blocking. So we should fix this first, and then we should go on to work on creating a couple of commands for our bot account. So we could start like to have some commands to like show, like give shoutouts when people start following us, or when people sorry, not following us, when people raid us and things like that. So what I noticed here is that we're being blocked here, and I wasn't sure why we were being blocked here. So I went and started looking through the Go documentation and the Go issue tracker, and I found this gem where since 2016 there is a sample in the Go documentation. So timer. Yeah, so there is in the documentation there is like this weird thing for stop. So for the timer, there is this weird thing, this sample here, that is supposed to work, but weird things happen when there is a race condition, and if you hit the race condition, it will just block forever. And that's kind of what happened yesterday. Was that we went through all of this, we tried to stop the timer, then we got stuck in waiting for the channel to receive our message, but there was no message to receive. And then just blocked forever. So that meant that we were just waiting here forever. And that means that we never went and resetted the timer itself. So the timer itself never got resetted, so we never sent the message again. And it looks like the solution for this bug is just to wrap in a select statement. So selects allow you to listen to multiple things, multiple channels at once. So what they're doing here is wrapping in a select. And then it wouldn't block, it would just go to default, and then default wouldn't have anything, so it would just continue looping over and over again. So that's kind of what they ended up fixing the bug. But the thing that's happening now is that there was a proposal that was submitted in February. It got approved sometime in June, so hopefully the next version of Go has a fix for this. But for now, we will have to just use their kind of their recommended solution for it. But yeah, so that's kind of why we only saw like what I was working on was only sent once yesterday after the raid, was because we sent it once and then the timer was never resetted. And since it was never resetted, it just like waited forever. And then here we just have to do default. So that's kind of how they suggest to fix it. And the fix here is just means that so when you listen to when you're waiting for a channel to get a message, it blocks until it gets the message. But if the channel is already closed, it kind of blocks forever. So what you're doing here is just saying, check if there's any message. If there's no message in the channel, move on to default, which is an anti-default because we're not doing anything here, and then just do this work here. So it's gonna reset the timer. So that's kind of what we have to do here to be able to support that. But yeah, if you were wondering yesterday why we were not getting any messages in the bot account, was because of that. So let's see. This is not right, so let's change it. Okay. So yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be updating. I should start the bot now. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting So I'm gonna start the bot first, and hopefully starts listening. So what we're gonna be doing today is just adding a couple of commands. So the ones I have in mind is shoutout, a command, which just returns all the commands and what they in a summary of what they do, and then so a command of commands, and then you need to figure out one more. I was thinking of doing like playing as like a soundboard where the command is played, it does something with the sound, but we will have to figure out how that will work, because I don't want it, like, we might end up getting a bit spammy. But it could be cool to try it out first. Just build it and see if people start using it. If people start using it, we could turn it off. So just a command that it could play like a sound, like some kind of sound. So if you guys have any sound recommendations while we go through the first couple of commands, let me know, because then we could start, we could just start adding more commands as well. So yeah, if you have a sound that you enjoy to hear from time to time, just send it my way. Cool. So this is the same in the timer, which is good. This is what we want to see, right? We want to see the timer being resetted. If there's no messages, we want to see it being resetted, and then it's gonna send a message. Yeah, so that's how we expected it to behave, right? It's like it will reset the timer, then wait 11 seconds. If the timer is set, it will reset it. If it's not set, we'll create a new timer. So very expected. Unless it sends again, it sends one more. Then that's not what we're expecting, but that's kind of how we see it. So let's just create a new file here and just call it commands. And in here, what is a command? So let's do package, and then we have a package RC, RC or main, because we have main over here. So let's do main, and in here, wait, I want to make this into a package. So we're making this into a package itself. We're gonna make commands, and since I didn't save it, that's okay, cool, commands. So let's make a package for commands. What is a command? So a command is so we need to do it in an action, right? So we need to do an action. So let's see. One thing that you could do in Go is declare a type function. So let's do that. So the action itself will be a type function. And then we could decide like what it takes. Okay, the function types. Okay, so this is how you declare a function. So a function is just the name of the function, the name of the type of the function, and then the arguments for the function and what the function returns. So we would do type, and then it will take a writer. So you would do that, and then that. So what we're doing now, right now. Yep. Cool. So what our okay, so the way that it works, what we're doing now, so our function takes a IO writer and it will write to it. So the IO writer is where we're going to be writing to. So we could, I will show you how that would look in a bit. But okay, so then since you have a type function, we need a type for a command. So we're going to create a type that holds the command itself. And then the command itself has a name. So that will be the command itself, which is a string. It has a description, so what the command does. And then it takes a function. So action. So we're gonna call it action, and the action itself is gonna be a command. It's gonna be a command func. So what we're saying here is that action is just a function, and that means that so the way that the typing works, as long as the function itself just does passes IO reader, writer, and it's only one param, one argument that is being passed to this function, it will automatically take it. So that will be the cool part about it. Okay, so then here, what we need to do now is, okay, so we wanted to have, so we could use a map or a, so the next thing we need to keep track of is the commands themselves. So the available commands. So we're gonna keep track of the available commands, and we don't want this public, so we're gonna do the available commands, and this will be a type. It will be a map. So I'm gonna go with a map because it's easy for us to search later on, and I will show you what I mean by that. So we're gonna do a command, and in here we could start declaring our commands, right? So so the first one that I want to do is help. So let's do help, and in here we're gonna do a command type. Cool. That's not good, but let's see. This takes, oh, maybe I can just do this. Okay, this takes a name. So, but I see the name, or maybe not a name, or this, yeah, a name. So let's go with a name for now, because I'm not sure. So I saw someone do commands. So that will be help. The commands. And then the description will be what it does. So let's see. Prints a list of commands. Okay, so it prints a list of commands. Okay, and then an action. So what it's gonna do? Okay, so for the action, it takes a function. So it's gonna be a writer, an IO writer. So that means we could write to it, and then cool. Okay, so it takes an IO writer. What can we do here? So we want to print all the overload commands, right? So we could do a for loop where we get, I want to make the key match the name, so okay, we're gonna do a for loop, and the for loop is gonna do value, and then we're gonna just loop through our available commands. So we want to loop through it. This is just most for sketching. I want to make sure that, so we're gonna go through it. Oh, so there is a circular initiation somewhere here. Wait, what is that? Oh yeah, it depends on itself. So maybe the way that we just take this and declare it somewhere else. So we could do something like func. Okay, and we're gonna call this function help. And then the help command we pass here. So let's see if it's, yeah, it's not gonna like it. So why do we didn't like it? It's because it's a circular loop, so it's just depending on itself. So that's kind of the bad part about it. Oh, you know what? So we could just do a, can we do this? I don't think if this is, I'm not sure if that's gonna work. So it depends on itself, and that's why it's giving me a hard time. Um, so what can I do to not give you? Oh, let's see. I for Yeah, it's giving me a hard time because it depends on itself, and that means that it's not able to call itself. How can I get around a? Let's look at it. Like this is the first time that this happens. The way that I'm doing it is something that I haven't done before. So we could figure out how we do it. Too much. Oh, okay. So I think for now I'm just gonna use initialize init, which does all the magic. So we are gonna use init here. So init is trigger. So the init function. So this function gets triggered when the package gets first loaded. So what we could do is just take this here. There's some. We shouldn't be doing this later, but for now I'm just gonna use init. And then we could just figure out how to change it as we go. So we are gonna create this new. We're gonna create this variable here, which is type command. Okay, so that fixed it. So the thing that we're doing now is that we're using init. Since we're using init, we get around the circular reference issue that we were having. So init is it gets executed every time. So every time the package gets imported, init fires. So we could try that out. So here we want to loop through the commands and we want to print this. So we're gonna write it to here. We still need to make some of the interfaces better. So like we should have a library that handles writing Twitch messages, but for now, it might be easier to just write it directly to it. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna go to our bot here and just like figure out how it does the messaging. So this is how it does the messaging. Cool. So now this is where IO writer comes into play. So we're taking an IO writer, right? So we're taking an IO writer, and then the IO writer is just how we write to it. So the connections itself is an IO writer. So that's how we're gonna be using it. And here we are gonna post two things. So we're gonna do first we're gonna print here. We don't need this here. How do you do new lines instead of? Okay, so there's no new line. So we are just gonna go with this here. Cool. So we're gonna say here, hey, here's a list of commands, and then we are gonna say command. So the command name, so v.name, and then the description. So what the command does, and we're gonna do that. What did I do? Print. Oh, I messed up. It's not a dollar sign. Gen sign. Okay, so that will probably do it. So I'm gonna restart it and see what happens. Oh wait, it's not connected yet. Oh, I'm jumping the gun. I didn't read. We're not listening to any messages right now, so I have to update this side, and I have to still teach you how to parse things, how to handle messages. So let's do that first, because I ended up just getting excited. Okay, so the way it works here, what we need to do here, is we're gonna create a new function here, which is gonna take we're gonna do parse command, and the way it's gonna work is two things. So it takes the command name, so which is a string, and then it takes the argument. So it takes a list of arguments, so which is a string. Did I have what's this one? Get. Wait, does that support it? Okay, so that, but we're doing it in the wrong place. So what we're doing here is we're saying that our function takes. Oh, we need to pass also the IO writer. So our function, our command parsing function that we're just going to be writing right now, takes a list of it takes a writer, so a interface that we could write to. It takes a command name, and then it takes a list of arguments that are just a string. And that means that we have to change our function a bit. Our function should also take a list of arguments. So what we want to do is pass a list of arguments, and then the function itself might decide like what to do with that information. And so the goal is like if we have commands that have multiple, like someone's name, for example, or something like that, we want to be able to handle that too. And then we need to update our command function. In our case, we don't really care about the argument. So what we're saying here, so underscore means just ignore this, ignore it. That's okay. Do you win? Hope you won. Okay. So cool. I'm glad you won. You should try rank then. Okay, so we have a list of commands. So what we want to do now, so this function will return an error. Yeah. Returns an error. Error is null. So what we want to do now is two things. So we want to do, we want to check, declare value, command, and then we want to declare, okay. So here we want to do available commands, and we want to pass the command name. And then we want to make sure that we have the command name. And we want to do check if it's okay. If it's okay, it means that the command is there. If it's not, we're going to do something else. So we have the command now. And then inside of command, we want to just return. So we're going to return here. And we're going to do command that action. So action is a function. So the field action is a function. So here we could do pass the IO writer, and we could pass the arguments to it. Let's see. Oh, I might have messed up this here. Oh, it's because I'm not spreading it. So the thing that happens is that this is you have to spread it. So let's see if that worked. Wait, how do you, is it in the front? Yeah. And here we want to just return an error. So we're going to return an error because we didn't find the command. But we probably wouldn't use a command. We don't want it to fail, so we might print like this is not command into the terminal. Pretty good. So I am adding the interfaces to handle commands. So the first command we're going to add is just a simple one that says that prints out the available commands, if there is any. So we have the first one, which is help. Oh, sorry, we don't want to call it help. It's just commands. So that's the first one that we're going to be creating. And then the next one that we're going to be creating is one that gives a chat out. So that's kind of the one that we're working on. So we're working on two. We're doing one for shout out, the help one, which is going to print the commands are available, because it's always nice to have those around. And then the next one that we're going to create is one that lets us do just a shout out. So if you get rated or someone joins and we want to give them a shout out, we could do that too. So that's the first one that I want to do. Okay, cool. So now we could go back to our main file. Now we are able to hook it into our chatbot. Oh, what was your question? So here we're gonna create a new one. Wait, we don't need it there. Let's just put it then. If I find the end of it. Nope. Let's just do it. Tap. Also, if you want, just send it on Discord. So I changed it. So it's based on timing. So the changes that we did yesterday for rating. Oh no, I'm not saving it anywhere. So the way it works is that I'm using a timer. So I'm using a timer. So when a lot of people join, it resets the timer. I could show you that. Yeah, so I'm using a timer. So we have a 11-second timer that kicks off when someone first joins, and then the timer is reset if someone else joins after that in that 11 seconds. Sorry, because so it's 11 seconds because the way the Twitch server works, the chat server, is that it chunks messages in 10 seconds. So for 10 seconds, you might not get any messages, but in 11 seconds, it might send you 100 messages or something like that, because it does batching. So the batches themselves are chunks of 10 seconds of messages. So if someone sends like 100 messages all at 10, like in less than 10 seconds, they will all show up 10 seconds later. That's kind of how it's happening. And you could see it in some places I was doing that. So like when all the join events and all of that are chunked into 10 seconds. So we're gonna create a new case here. We're gonna use our handy tokens and we're gonna get private messages. So we're gonna read for private messages. So if you get a private message, a token for a private message, that means that we now have a message. So let's see. How do I get? Oh, okay. So we have parser, and parser has the message, right? So what we want to do here is if strings that there has to be like the first. I want to do like stream, but compare only the first. Oh wait, I know how to do that. So if I do token that, sorry, not token, parse that message, and I do so in Go, I believe streams are also represented as an array, so I'm able to access the first character. So now that I have the first character, if not, I will have to turn it into a string. So if the first character is a exclamation point. We do this here. We do parse command. So we're calling our parse command function because our commands all are going to start with exclamation point. And then here we are going to pass our writer, our command name, which we have to declare, and then our arguments. Okay, so our writer is connect. What is your idea? Let me close this. So we have the command, so we have the information that we need. So now we just have to parse our messaging. So the first part we need to do, the way that the commands are going to work is we want to, I'm just going to call it input or message. Okay, so we have a slice of messages which we're going to split here. Strings, that's split. So we're going to split it. We're going to split our message into little chunks. The parser parse that message. So the parse that message is being created from our scanner and parser that we used before. So we're just reusing it. Okay, so we have message. The command name will be the first part. So the command name. Okay, so maybe better to just represent it here. So it will look something like commands, right? So we have our first part. So if we split it, we are gonna do message slice that's 0. No, cause like I don't have Discord set up correctly in this computer, so I'm not sure how it will work. But we could talk about it later. Let's do that. Let's talk about it later. Yeah, so I'm using a different computer today, so it might sound very weird. So ours are just message, and I want to do anything after 1. Okay, so I think we kind of got it. Okay, let's see. Did it get commands? No, it's commands. Okay, so let's see what is happening. Wait, it didn't import it. Likely. Let's import it manually. Unless I didn't save the file, which will be fine. Yeah, I didn't save the file. I did. Commands. Back once. In parse. I want to be the parser. I want the main file. Why is command not working? Oh, Dukes. I made it a private method. You just have to go back and change that. Again, locase, if the function or variable starts for locase, it's not available outside of the package. That's what happened here. And that will fix it. Yeah, if you want. If not, we could chat about it, and I could just do it. Like, figure out if we could do it maybe tomorrow. So I'm not streaming tomorrow or Thursday. We could try doing it sometime later. Okay, so I'm gonna kill it. We're gonna start it again, and hopefully it builds correctly. Okay, so it's starting correctly. If I do command, didn't do much. Okay, so let's figure out why it didn't work. So first, let's check if we're getting a message here. And then let's print this message that we just got. Usually it doesn't work on the first try, so I would have been very excited if that worked on the first try. Okay, so we kill it. And we try again. See what it gets. Okay, so that it got the right message. Now let's see if I'm using this correctly. So let's see if we're in here. Oh, so the bank. So since you're a moderator, you could do slash timeout. So you have those commands already for yourself. For example, like the ban and the timeout ones. Since you're a moderator, you have them. I don't think I want to teach the bot to do that. Oh, I see what. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like you want to be able to add the arguments like it takes. So we could try doing that too. Yeah, we could do that. First, let's do the easy case, and then we could show the different arguments I would do. And take it from there. Yeah, so we could try that. So we are getting the message here. I'm wondering if we're in here. Okay, so we're gonna kill it. We're gonna start it again, and we're gonna do command. So it's in the right place. Wait, why is it not writing? Okay, so maybe something is wrong with our command. Oh, you know what? Like I said before, you should always handle your if statement or your errors. We might be getting an error and I'm not handling correctly, so we're gonna print print to the console. We're gonna be like we want it. We want this one. So I'm wondering if it's not taking the command correctly. Oh, there we go. But it's weird. It's not. So we did get it. So it's triggering a list of commands. The issue is that the new lines are not working. Oh, what is it doing? That looks so weird. Okay, so it is working. But it's writing some weird stuff. Let's see. It doesn't, but it shouldn't group it together. I don't have a new line, so it shouldn't. It's like doing some weird messaging. It's messing with the messaging. So it says, oh, you know what? It's me. I'm the one doing this because, like, again, I should probably have written a function that handles this. So I forgot to put the new lines. So I forgot to put the new lines. So in the IRC protocol requires that you do a return and a new line. So I forgot to do that, and that's why it wasn't working correctly. So what we need to do now is try it again. So we could do command, and there we go. So now the question that I have is there any way to show? Yeah. If you have 100 commands, it's just gonna that's okay, but it does work. It prints itself, which is what we wanted. Okay, so that works. Okay, so that works. Cool. And we just need to make sure what the arguments are being passed. So if I do our command's not using it, but we could try it here. So we could do, let's make sure what we're getting something useful here. Oh, okay. So we could do a test. Let's just add a new command. So the new command that I want is chat out. So I saw some channels had something like this, which just means shout out. And shout out, the name is just shout out. It feels a bit repetitive. Like name is repetitive. Maybe we don't need name. And we just use the key. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So we use the key here. Oops. BRB. We use the key here, and that means that we don't need name anymore. So that means that we're using the key as a name, and then we have the description and then the action, which is the fields that we're only using in general. It feels repetitive that we had the name field and then the key was also the name, so this feels better. So in here we have a description. Okay, so back to it. So we are creating the description, and the description is sensation. User. And then the action will be so we're gonna create a function. This function takes a writer, an IO writer, and then this function also takes a self arguments. So the arguments will be used to figure out like the extra information that we need to pass. Okay, so here for testing, I'm just gonna print it. So print new line, and then here we're gonna do print the arguments because we need the arguments. Let's close this. Done. And we forgot one tab. Cool. Okay, so it's gonna print the arguments that we're passing, and we have a shoutout command. Okay. So we could try this out. Kill it. And we're gonna start again. And then we're gonna do so we have a tacopter. Cool. Okay, so that's working. So our the arguments themselves, we're getting the correct arguments. So we could just like remove it. So we are gonna do username, and then username is part of the arguments and 0. Oh, let's see. We put some protection here. Let's do length args. So it doesn't do anything, but you can see like this is the thing I want to fix. If you do that, right? If you don't pass a name, it should throw an error. Okay, so we should do this here, where we say if length is equals to 0, should then print. We're gonna print for now. We're just gonna print missing. I don't know what you're trying to do. Okay, so sample is gonna get pinged. Hopefully there's no one named sample here. Okay, so that means that if it's 0, and then we return. Okay, so that works. And then the next thing we want to do, so that's the username. If username here, oh yeah, we just do it. So if username doesn't, the first character in username is not equal to amp, we are gonna be like, nope, this is not happening either. Yeah, I am gonna stop that from happening. Okay, and then we have to get rid of the username, so we're gonna get rid of the ampersand. So let's build the Twitch URL. So the Twitch URL is, I don't want that. So twitch.t/ that's a username. Okay. So we're gonna replace. We're gonna do so we are gonna create a string. So fish for I, and then in here we're gonna do that front. This one here, and we're gonna do, okay, and we're gonna put the name here. And then we have the name now, so we could just do name. I think if I do this, that will work. So that means I'm skipping the first character. Okay, and let's just print that out, see how it looks. Oh, did I miss? Okay. Like my escape. Oh, I'm using double quotes. Okay. And this is supposed to be. Okay, let's see if that works. It might not work. I might need to turn it into something. Okay, we can try it. Cool. Let's try it again. Okay, so that worked. Okay, let's send that back into the chat. So first, let's send a. Ooh, you know what? Okay, so this is gonna be helpful. I just thought of something else that we could do with this. This is gonna drive me nuts. I think I'm gonna create a function that just lets me send messages. Let's do that. Okay, so func send message, and it takes an IO, takes a IO writer, and then it takes a string. And I want to take this. I'm gonna put it here. It's still printing to my console, so even if you do it, it just says missing user and then a sample. Yeah, it's just printing to my console, so you are not gonna get any messages, sir. So I'm changing it to print into the right place. Okay, so that takes a string, and we're gonna call it message. I'm testing it first, so to make sure that it doesn't do anything weird. Okay, okay. Oh, I missed the R. Yeah, so right now it doesn't know about names, so we're gonna have to teach it about names. Let's see. Oh, I messed up here. Okay, so that takes a message. So we could just change this to. We need to make this better, but for now, that was copy and pasting was driving me nuts. So we could do something like we're gonna write, and then this is the message, and we're gonna say, please. We're gonna send that message, and have that message. And we don't need this anymore. Oh, it's not gonna. No, it should. You should always include it because then you should like. I wanted the auto completion to work. Because then it could be anyone. Yeah, no, that shouldn't work. The issue there is, no, it doesn't work. See, you're just not seeing them there. There's no message there yet. Because I have to change certain things. Like it doesn't write anywhere, so it doesn't work. Ooh, yeah. So I also have to step away for a few seconds. So let's do that. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to step out. Yeah, and thank you for the reminder about that because I'm forgetting. So, if you're new to the channel, the reason why we just run an ad right now is because every time I run an ad, the pre-roll ads go away for at least like a few people. Sorry, for like 21 minutes. And that means that anytime someone sees our stream in the browsing session of Twitch or anywhere else, they won't. The first thing that they will see wouldn't be the ad, it will be the stream itself. So that's kind of why we did it. And thank you, Copter, for reminding me to do it. Okay, so we made a change here, so let's try it, see if it works. Okay, so hopefully it still works. What did I miss? Oh, auto command. So someone told me to put let's change this a bit. I kind of don't. Someone told me to put a timer on my phone, so I don't forget. Okay, so that works. Same one with no name. Sorry, without the name. Yeah. without the name, and then send another one without the @ symbol. Oh, no, because then every time I reset it, I will have to keep track of time somewhere, like, differently. That will be a bit more difficult because right now I'm not keeping track of time. So if I do this, right, for example, every time I kill it and start it again, it's just gonna kill it. So that's kind of the issue. Okay, so that one works. Okay, so that we have 2 commands now. So let's see. If you run command, okay, you get. Okay, so that's 2 commands. Now the other thing I should do is I want to pass who sent the command as an argument. So I want to be able to be like, Copter was the one that sent the command. So I might have to change this a bit. So, okay. Oh, not yet. So that will be the so this is more of like me getting sidetracked a bit. But so I'm gonna add one more command, and then I'm gonna work on the overlay itself. Because right now we have all the messages coming in through. The overlay is gonna be simple for the beginning. But we're already getting all the commands, right? So we're getting all the messages already. And all the information that we need, so we can start building the overlay today. So that's kind of what I'm gonna be doing. After I figure out how to send the names here, and I have one more command, then we're gonna do it. Oh, is he so? Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Edu is asking about adding the chat as part of the stream. Okay, so we have that there, but I want to pass a name. So let's figure out how to pass a name. Okay, so I think we have the username here. So let's see. Eric, you could think of this as a pre practicing to see if our parser is working correctly. So like if our parser is working correctly, then it's working correctly, yeah. Oh, cool. It looks like we have a new follower. Map KN3. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for that follow. And our chat follower notification alert. Our alert for new followers is working correctly, kind of. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I have the username. If I have the username, I want to be able to add it. Okay, so we're gonna just do it again. Let's do command. Oh, commands. Oops. We should also return that message. No. Because we don't know what it is. So let's do that. Let's not do that. So it's saying that I was the one that sent that message. Okay, so that makes sense. So I send the message. So I should be the user. So let's do this. So let's do args. So that will be the next thing I do. Let me finish the commands. Then we'll figure out how to make it better as the second part. So the arguments here will be we have a map. And we want from 1 4. How do I append to the beginning? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Cool. So we want to append to this. So we're gonna do this here. We're gonna use append, and we're gonna create a slice here with how did they do? Okay, so we have to create a new one. It's gonna be a string. We're gonna pass the name of the person, so user name, into our into arguments, and then we're gonna pass parse. Okay, so what we're doing here, let's see. So, hey, why not? Oh wait, something else. Oh, I see. I have to. Yeah, that would do it. Okay. Cool. So now we have the first argument that we're gonna get is a username that send the command. The second, everything else is the command itself. The arguments themselves. So we could do something cool now where let's see. We have to change this from okay, this is 2 now. This is 1. Okay. Cool. So we could try that out. And cool. So that works. And it says, can I see? Oh yeah, so it works correctly. Now, the cool part about this that we could do is that we could add a new one and say who has access to that command. So let's see. And allow it takes a string. So it takes a list of usernames. So now we could just do here, we could just do allow. And it's a list. So I could do, so my name was Miguel. Oh. So it doesn't like that because I need to initialize it. A string and then string. I did it wrong. How is it? Oh, it's outside. Okay, and here we are just gonna do a allow is gonna be defined. So we're gonna do allow false, and then we're gonna do for. Then we get the name, username, or just name. Let's see. Name, and then we're gonna do. Oh wait, I don't get that information back to myself. How can I get that information back to myself? Oh, that's too bad. I don't have access to that information. So what I wanted to do is access to who can run that command. But the issue that's happening is I don't have access to that information. But I could just move it somewhere else. So for now, let's just move it to its own variable. I will fix this later. Because we're having an anonymous function, it doesn't have access to the top level classes. I mean, the top level, yeah, doesn't have the, access to the top level structure. So it's not a method, it's a function. So since it's a function, it doesn't have access to pretty much anything. So change and user. Okay, allow usernames, and then here, if name equals user, you have to move it down. Username, then allow is true. Now, so what we're doing now is that I am. Oh wait, no. Yeah. So what I'm doing now, so it's not username, it's arg0. So current user. So what I'm doing now is if only I should be able to run that command. So what I'm doing now is just making sure current user, and if allow is didn't mean to do that. If allow is this, then we return a message. We don't do anything. Okay. Cool. Opter, if you're still around and you're not playing Valorant, can you try the shout out command again? If not, I could try it myself. So, doing it myself. Opter. Nothing happened. Because I'm not allowed to use the command. So the bot itself just is not able to do it. So print. Okay, so, and we just want to pass the username, current user. So we could just keep track of like who is running the command. Cool. Okay, so that will be the commands that I will have. But then, what else can I do? I think this is good enough for now. Yeah, I think it's good for now. Like at least we know. First, we know that we're getting the right messages, and we're able to parse the messages. We are able to. So we're parsing the messages. We're tokenizing them, and the next thing we need to do is to start passing. Just being able to take the messages and start forwarding it to a place where we can start using it more. So we could keep some of the things here. Oh, I want to leave it running for now. But the goal here now is to be able to take some of the work that we did inside of here, inside of main, and start making it into its own function, into its own package, so we could start using it as part of our client. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing next. So I have to change the title because we are done working on the bot, and we are also, so let's see. Give me a second. So I'm going to update it, and we're going to be doing a bit of JavaScript too, if we get to it. Okay. So that is there. We also have to update this here. My current thing that I'm working on. Okay, cool. Then start it again. I didn't have to stop it because we fixed that, but I just ended up starting it. Cool. So we have that going. So now I think we started before we went through the path of writing our own parser. We have our C package that we started building. I just want to make sure what it's doing. Okay, so what it's doing was pretty straightforward. Before we got sidetracked and we started building our own scanner and parsing, was just start a connection, send something to it, send something to our fake server. How long have I been streaming? Let's see. Today, an hour and 21 minutes. Ooh, that would be a good one too. So like some kind of uptime to show how long I've been streaming for. That would be the next thing that we do. We might be the next that we create. Oh, since I started, I think this is my 3rd week or 4th week. Oh, he's asking, or they are asking that how long I've been streaming just in general. I've been streaming for like 3 weeks now. And I'm kind of just going through and building some of the tools that I think will be useful to have in the stream. So we pretty much built most of the things that you see in the stream itself, like the overlays, this notification and things like that work. So that's kind of the thing that I've been, that's kind of why we're working on the streaming tools, was mostly because I started streaming like 3 weeks ago. 3 or 4, I can't remember. But yeah, but I haven't been streaming for too long. Okay. Cool. So we did this like a week ago. We ended up writing some tests for our client, and we just need to make sure that it still works correctly. Yeah, if you have any comments idea, please feel free to post it in the chat. Okay, so our test server is still working, which is cool. Let's see. Okay, so it's still working. Let's see what we have in here. I think kind of right away. Like I had some friends and they like hearing my rant, so they started following me. But yeah, it was kind of right away. Like right away, I had like 4 or 5 followers because I had some friends that just like hearing me rant about things, and they were they were just making me rant a lot. Yeah, so it's mostly friends. So at the beginning, I had like my first 5 followers were just, well, 5 or I would say like the first 8 followers that I had were just friends, which just they like to hear me rant, or some of them just find it interesting to hear me just like my thought process. So they were just started hanging out in the chat, and in the channel as well. They will watch. So I used to only do Sundays too. So I only used to do Sundays. So they used to hang out a lot on Sundays. But now it's mostly like people that I have met through the stream that are watching and hanging. And like some of the people in the community too, like when I'm streaming. So they also do raids and they stop by. So I've been programming for about 8 years now. Maybe not, maybe more. So I don't count. Maybe 10, but I only count when I got my first full-time job. And the way I keep track of it is funny too. So I have I started this repo when I got my first job. So this is how I keep track of time. So I keep track of time is just by looking at this repo and checking like how long have I been working on that project. It was doing PHP and Python. So I was writing PHP and Python. So I used, before my first job, I used to do PHP a lot. And then during my first internship, asked to learn Python, so I ended up learning Python. So I did Python, and I did, so my first language was Python, sorry, PHP and Python. And then I started moving on to like JavaScript and CSS, which, so I really didn't master CSS, but I did a lot of front end work, where it was mostly using CSS framework, so I didn't have to really learn it. So yeah, so mostly PHP and Python. Well, I'm from the United States, and yeah, I'm based in the East Coast. Okay, so we are sending commands. Oh, this is what we needed. Okay, commands. A message. Commands. Okay, so we have one command. So okay, so we're sending one command, but we're not waiting for the message. So we have to teach this to read messages. How am I reading messages? Oh, this is how I'm reading messages. Okay, so it looks like I could just bring our parser, our handy parser, and just like start using it here. So first I was trying to figure out if I should do the video or not. And the decision, like the thing that was holding me back from streaming was figuring out if I wanted to do the video or not. So I ended up deciding like it doesn't really matter for me at this point to go and do a video. Well, the main reason I don't do video is because of how where I'm streaming from is layout. I need to make some changes, and that's kind of what's holding me back from streaming. So when I do those changes, I will end up turning on the camera. But for now, I'm streaming with no camera. So it's mostly like the layout of where I'm streaming from. Like one of the suggestions that Copter gave me was that I should get a green screen. But that's the kind of the things I'm trying to figure out. For context, I have there is a whiteboard in the room that has things I don't want to be part of the stream. And the whiteboard itself is painted to the wall, so I cannot take it off from the wall. But that's kind of the case, the reasoning around it. Okay, so we could use our handy parser, because now we have a parser. So parse message. So I could do, well, it's kind of a long list. So I could do PHP, Python, which kind of the order that I know them. It depends on how long I haven't used it for. So PHP, I haven't used it in like 5 years, but PHP, Python, Java, Scala, and Go, and JavaScript, and some C, but I wouldn't trust myself. I don't trust myself to write C correctly, so I would say there is code there around somewhere running in production that I'm ashamed of. I did. So I did computer science. But I taught myself programming before college starting. I was part of the robotics team for my high school, so I did a lot of programming there too. But I did computer science when I went to school. So here we just want to print our error because, you know, there's an error. I have made a couple of things. Nothing. Well, one that really blew up was a PHP library that I made. But I contributed to open source projects themselves. I haven't like done anything for, like, I made this here, which is like a set of libraries in Go that I'm working on, but I haven't done much work on it. I made it so after I set up the overlay and all the different things, I would start working on it in the stream. But the one that I did was oh yeah, right here. So back in like 2016, well, not 2016. So let's see when I started this project. Okay, so 8 years ago, so 8 years ago, I started this PHP package, which is to allow people to connect Mailchimp to Mailchimp. So it will allow a person to use this package, set up the different dependencies for it, and then they will be able to connect to Mailchimp and start sending newsletters from, like, creating newsletters from their applications. And it's still being downloaded. So this is how many downloads it has in the past 8 years. But that was pretty much it. After that, I have contributed to other open source projects, but I don't own them. It was mostly like just for work or for when I like for fun. But yeah, so for me, it's like sometimes I will prefer to contribute to other projects. Sometimes I end up open sourcing it. So this software that I'm doing, this code I'm writing right here will be open source too. Okay, so we are parsing our message. So maybe we should print this. Here, let's go back here. Okay, so failed to parse. Wait, why? Why are you saying valid token? Okay, I copy the tokens from valid. So we have a problem. My test case I was using in that library doesn't work correctly. Oh, it's because I'm missing information. That's why. I am missing so much information. Am I missing information? Let's see. Let's go and open that test. Oh, that is why. So the reason why we're getting the wrong things is because of how we created a helper function, a helper server. We call it this here. So this here is the one that's managing the different things. But what are we getting back is the question. So the issue that's happening right now is that the line that we're getting back is not what we're expecting from the parser. So it's not because our parser is broken. It's because we roll so our Mac server is messed up. Oh, this needs to happen else. Yeah, so our Mac server is wrong. So right now I'm trying to fix this Mac server, and then we could start using it for everything else. So what we're getting back is not what we want. So I need to figure out so I haven't looked at this for a week, so I just have to figure out like what was the changes that we did. Okay, so we are starting our client. Cool. Where is our server? So we're starting our server. I am working remote. Well, I was working remote. I am taking a break. I'm taking a few months off from work and just hanging out and like doing a bit of programming, streaming, and then for the next like 2 months, and then I will go back to work. But I was working remote since March. So what is this doing? We're doing something weird that we're not supposed to be doing. So server response. Am I setting server response? No. So I'm doing some weird stuff here. Oh, it's because I'm doing the echoing. So it's because I'm doing the echoing, and the echoing is not working correctly. So we just need to teach our response server. I don't know. I not sure. So let's see. I have to check if. So maybe the answer is maybe, because I'm not sure if the company that I work for is considered one. No, it's not considered one, but I have worked for a company that has at least 1,000 engineers. I don't know why it's not considered one, but it's not considered one. So yeah, so the fans, the companies are considered are Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, and Google. So I haven't worked for any of those. Okay, so we could teach our server to talk, to give us back what we want. So right now the server is not giving us back what we want. So let's do that. Let's just teach it to give us back what we want. Oh, this is gonna be difficult though. Okay, so we have a server response that takes a set of bytes and then send that back. So I wonder if I send new lines. Let's see if you could check it. This is wrong. This is not what we want. What we want is something else. So let's try to trick it. So we could do something like just make a run string. So let's just make a giant string. How about yourself? How do you work for any fan companies? Response. And then here we are gonna just create one long string. Where am I? Okay. Let's do that and close it. I need some samples, so I'm gonna go. Oh wait, the server is running, so I could get some samples from the server. Cool. Like freelancing or like what kind of work? Like contracting work? Or do you, so maybe the better question is like, are you doing like any kind of like software engineering, or are you like what kind of contracting do you? Okay. So we are just taking some of these things from here. We're gonna make a one long string because we just need to get it to her for now. Okay, so we have one giant long string. Then we're gonna create a buffer. So cool. That's very cool. I'm lost on that one. Beyond her lies, nothing. What kind of thing interests you? Because like one of the suggestions that I have heard and I have given myself is like, if you don't find anything interesting, the Go project itself is open source, so you could start contributing back to the language itself. Like doing adding examples and things like that. Yeah, so what things will you be interested in working on, and like in the open source world? And it's very cool that you have a I'm not sure if I want to pronounce your name correctly. I'm gonna say Aku. It's very cool that you're running a programming consulting company. Do you do what kind of languages do you use there? Like what kind of languages are you using in your day to day? Okay, so take a we wanted this here. Okay, so it creates a buffer, and we're gonna write to it. Cool, that's very cool. I wanted to learn how to do Rust a while back. I started, I'm not sure if I open sourced it. I probably didn't open source it. I started writing a network stack a few years back, but then I got sidetracked. It doesn't let me pick any language, but I don't think I have it. I didn't open source it. Yeah, I didn't open source it. That's very cool. I kind of struggled a bit with Rust and the borrowing. Like the whole borrowing was a bit confusing for myself. Wait, I don't need that. I declared this wrong. Yeah, I couldn't get used to the borrowing. And the lifetime of a variable, of a value too, got me. I couldn't figure it out. But it's very cool that you're doing your day-to-day is Rust. Are you doing like web servers, or are you doing like more hardware stuff, or what kind of stuff are you working on? Let's see. Alright, so TS has a response, server response. Wish we could override it. And it's not pointers. Change that. Cool. Oh, that's very cool. That's the reason why I did now. Oh. Let's see. High bandwidth AI. Sorry, IO for AI related applications. That's very cool. So you mean like, is it for like narrow networks, or for like connecting different networks together, or is it more of like just passing data across the different when you're training models? Beyond her lies, nothing. I have tried Golang before as an editor. That was like 3 years ago. When it was beta. So I tried it when it was beta, but at that point I was also learning how to use Vim. So I just ended up sticking with Vim a long time for a while, like since then. But I have good things about it. So there is that. But also if you use VS Code, so VS Code, the thing with Golang is that it lets you like the refactoring is so good. But if you're okay with not having, like, I'm not sure how good the refactoring for VS Code is, but VS Code has a really good language server. So I'm using it right now. So there is these things called language servers, which is used for auto completions and things like that. It's called Go Please. So you use there is Go Please, which is a for auto completion. So it does auto completion. It does like linking all different things that you could build on top of it. If you use VS Code, you could use it too. I heard it's super nice, and I'm using Go Please for Vim too. All the auto completion that are showing in the stream is using that. So I have it set up so I'm using a language server for it. Oh, you switch from VS Code. Okay, what made you do the switch? Looks like I'm gonna have to use a point. That's okay. I could do that. Oh, so I haven't really used VS Code for anything else, like just simple programs. I haven't used Go modules for it. I see. So I haven't used. So modules came out like a year ago or 2 years ago, year and a half. I can't remember. So it was Go. I can't remember the version for it, but I haven't used Golang after modules came out. So like I haven't used it in a long time. Um, so these are some weird stuff that are happening. So it's working correctly. So okay, so we're getting the right messages. Now our for loop is not being killed. So we just figure out why it's not being killed. So I'm just going back and fixing some tests as we talk. I should check it out then because I haven't looked at it in years. So since it was in beta, I haven't looked at it at all. So I guess when do I close the channel? So I guess a message. Then he checks what he wants. Let's see. So okay, so this is what we want. Coolest thing I ever made. Let's see. I have built a lot of things. Okay, so there's two. So the first one was I built a wave. So I used to work for an advertising company, and we needed to check for a way for us to check if the ad. So at some point, all the browsers started moving to SSL, and ignore like ads that were not SSL, didn't support SSL, were being ignored. So I worked on a Go program that will control a instance of Chrome. So it will open Chrome. It will go to the so the thing that needed to be SSL run using SSL were like the images. So the JavaScript and the images for the ad would need to be SSL under like you could have requested them through SSL. So what I ended up building was a way for us to request that information, right? So we built a way for us to check if the assets themselves were using SSL or not, and it would just start up Chrome, take control over Chrome, go to the image URL or to the JavaScript URL, and then open the Chrome toolbar. And then in the toolbar there is a setting that you could just dump all the requests, and it would just dump all the requests there. But this had to run for thousands of clients, so that was the very cool part about it. So yeah, there was one. The other one was like a year ago, 2 years ago. I ended up building like a proxy for a metric system that we needed to scale. We had like 100 of them, and sorry, not 100. We had like 1,000 of them, and we needed a way to aggregate the data for them. So I ended up writing something in Go that let us do that too. Membership. There's one more. Membership, tags, and commands. Memberships, tags. How about yourself? where is happening. Our channel is being whole. Why is it being whole? So I'm using, so what is happening now is I'm going back to a package that we started writing last week, and we got distracted and started writing our own our IRC parser. So we finished writing the parser and we're just going back to now some of this stuff. So we're just going back and seeing like if it works correctly, if it's doing what it needs to do. But I think I'm blocking something. I don't know what I'm blocking, so I have to go look and put a bunch of if statements. I mean, console.log. Okay. So we are blocking somewhere. Let's see where we're blocking by checking the test. So we have a for loop that is just going and waiting for every single message that we're getting. So let's do here. We're just gonna say, let's just say that we're here. So the end goal of this project is to make sure that we have a so we need to make sure that we have okay, so that is right, that is right. We just need to make sure that we have all the necessary information that we need. So we're rocking there. Why? Oh, I was not born in the United States. I came here when I was like 10, and that's why I have an accent. I am originally from the Caribbean, so I have a bit of an accent. Why not? And I know why. It's because we're missing a return here. So we are blocking because we're missing a return. The way that our server knows when to send the next message is when we send a command to it. Yep, there we go. That did it. Did it fail? Yep. Why did it fail? So this here. Yeah. So. Oh, it's just a parsing. Why did it fail the first time? That is very weird. Yeah. So I wasn't born here. So I came here when I was 10. Thanks, SSB. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you like the content too. If you have any suggestions of like things that I can improve or things I should do, like should I increase the font size of my editor, please let me know. Or if you have any questions, like around the code itself or just in general. Okay, cool. So we fixed our tests. So our tests are passing again. Oh, you want me to start touching my Mark? Do you want me to start touching my microphone? Here. I don't know if that does it. Yeah, I ended up there by mistake, and I was like, okay, cool. So that's what that is. I'm gonna start whispering up. So my microphone doesn't trigger if I whisper. Can you guys hear me? Is this better? I should start charging for this. If you like this content, please subscribe. Also, make sure that you, yeah, please subscribe or start following me. I will take either one. And I now, Mark, thank you for the follow. Miss Ross. Mrs. Ross? Miss Ross? Thank you so much for the follow. I will be probably eating food from my mic in a few days. Also, if you so I'm not gonna play it. So for anyone that feels like they're left out, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. This is what we're talking about. It's a very interesting world. Well, let's see. We're not gonna watch much of it, but see if we could find one. Oh wait. So let's turn that off. So we're gonna rewatch some of those videos. Let's see if I could find it. So how's it going, Mark? You're making me do some ASMR here. That's what we're doing. So if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. It's a channel where people do things to their mics. Might not be safe for work, sorry, but interesting stuff happening there. No, that's okay. Let me know if you want me to continue rolling my mic or whispering to the mic. See how do you feel about that. It's interesting that the mic will pick it up, because like I mess with the sensibility of it a lot. But yeah, it's a thing. Wait, what is it supposed to do though? Do you guys know what it's supposed to do? Like, for me, it's like I saw for a few minutes, I was like, no, not for me. If you're into it, I'm not judging you. I'm just wondering, why will you watch it? No, I'm not talking about my stream. I know you think my stream is relaxing, but the ASMR side of things. Oh, I guess that's the thing too. Oh, maybe it's, yeah, you're right. Maybe it's just relaxing. Very relaxing then. So I will make that part of the stream at some point. Mark, you could that will be a reward for you, Mark. You could cash in some of your bytes points, and you get 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, not 5 minutes. I wouldn't do that for 5 minutes. You get 2 minutes of me touching the microphone. Okay. Gotta be sidetracked. Okay, this is working. I think it's working. So we're getting messages. Now we are gonna use our handy parser as the message. And Mark, you didn't really derail the conversation. This is the conversation is this is the point of this channel. Is for us to talk about random things and for me to program. So the main reason I started this channel was to motivate myself to program more. And I am motivated to write my own parser for IRC. So I think that is working. So the next part is for us to just chat about random things or playing games. So we started playing games on Fridays now too. So if you wanted to watch like 3 random people play random games for a few hours, we do that on Fridays at 8. So there is that. Yeah, Fall Guys. We could do Fall Guys. Attackcopter is practicing his skills. He's getting ready for. He's playing. He's doing Valorant and he's practicing with Fall Guys. He almost won twice already, which is, well, more than twice, which is very impressive. Well, he's preparing for it. He's like, he's gonna just wreck all of us. Okay, so I'm gonna change this a bit. Message. I'm just gonna call this on tap. Oh, I'm talking about you and your Fall Guys skills. I'm praising your Fall Guys skills over here. Okay. Is parse. Also your Valorant skills. Okay, so here we have the parse message. So we're gonna use a switch statement here. So we're gonna do command, and then depending on the command that we're in, we are gonna send the data to a different channel. And default one will be just this channel that we're doing before, just so we don't break things for now. The first case will be token cap. That doesn't go like that. Okay, token.cap, and we're gonna send it on cap. So cap is just capability, and we're gonna parse our parser to it. A pointer. Okay. Okay, so that is there. Cool, and we just have to initialize those channels. The reason we were using channels here is because we're doing a lot of async stuff. So our server is getting messages asynchronously, and we just need to pass those messages back to whatever is listening for those messages. So that's kind of why we're ending up doing, this, why we are using channels here. Yeah, so the way it works here is that we are testing our cap. So I'm just going to write one more test for this, and then we are going to jump into doing sending that information into our event server. I just want to write a bit of more tests, so when we go back to it and we start refactoring tokens. Token. Oh, it's capitalized. So capital AP. Okay. There we go. Cool. So we're getting cap. And here we are cap. And we want the message. So we are now getting a bit more fancier. We are now getting in a way where we are taking the message and just passing it around, different anyone that uses our client could listen to those channels. So they could listen to those channels, and then they could get the message that they want for those channels. Here we're gonna do cap, and we got a message, so that message, and we want that message. Okay, and we just want to check for an error if error. Failed. I think everyone laughed because of I was not good at ASMR or whatever you pronounce it. I mean, I haven't struggled pronouncing it. Okay, so yeah, I need to get a better mic for it then. I think that's kind of what I got from this conversation, is that I need a better mic to be able to do it. Did I break it because of that? Huh. Okay, so oh wait, that is not returning. That's pretty weird. Why am I getting an error? Let's see what our off does. Sends a message. Non command. Then sends a command. Why is it randomly failing? Ooh, wonder what I did. Okay, so we do that. It fails. Strange. Okay, let's see. Failed to parse with. What is? Oh, am I doing? What weird thing I'm doing some weird stuff. Okay, so we are doing, so if we check for an error, this is failing here, but it's not giving us the right message that we're sending to it. Why is second? Oh, is this randomly failing? Ooh, that would be not good. One thing that Go has is that the test itself are cached. After a test is run, yeah, after file is okay. So it's weird because it was failing a few minutes ago. So to keep an eye on that. Okay, so this is checking for cap. It's working correctly, and our parser is working correctly. So the next thing that we need to handle is sending messages. So if there's a message, so I'm gonna break this here. So it's also gonna return a parse that message, parse that message. Okay, and the way that it's gonna work is that it's gonna take. So every time we get a message, it's gonna put it in this channel. And we don't want it to block, so we don't want any of this to block, so I'm gonna just put it to 100 for now. So if you give it a number, if you give a integer to make after you create a channel as a second argument, it does like, excuse me, it creates a buffer. So what we're saying here, keep the connection open until keep the connection open until it gets to 100 messages. After that, you have to block and not put anything else in the message inside of the channel. Okay, so we have that there, and we're just gonna do here default. Let's do just for now. I don't think we need a default, so for now we're just gonna ignore everything. The next one that we want to check is the one that we know on for the messages, that parse private. Which is one that we're gonna do for sending messages. And then we could use that one for like showing the messages in the overlay. So that's kind of what we're gonna do next, to show some of the messages in the overlay. I still need to figure out how I want to do it. It would be cool if they scroll up as a command, but I haven't figured out how we're gonna do it. So I'm just gonna pass that there. Okay, so that's doing that. And I didn't finish the off, so I think I should finish the off. So we're sending the necessary components to authenticate. So we authenticate it, but the next thing that we need to do is pass. If you look at our bot here, it passes this. It needs to do this, so it needs to join the channel. So it has to authenticate and join the channel. So that's what we're gonna do next. So let's see. We are doing. Okay. So we have to add two commands here. So we need to do join and nickname. So nickname. So these are the commands that we're gonna support. Okay, so the way it works is that if client big does config have a channel? I don't think it does. It has a channel ID, but it doesn't have a channel name. So we have to put a channel name here. Let's close. We don't need a test for right now. Okay, close. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a channel, And if you know, I'm probably gonna open this file and reveal the token of the bot as part of the stream. So I will try not to do that, but it might happen. Yeah, I can. So so my editor, if you go to here, one I want. You could find my editor configuration here. So that's kind of what I'm using for my editor. So it has like I don't think it has like details of what it does clearly, but I would suggest you look through it and see and just pick things that you like. Because if you end up picking, like I have a lot of weird shortcuts. If you end up, I will suggest you go through it and just pick things that you like out of it, and I use the whole thing. Because it's harder if you're learning BIM. It's harder for you to pick up other people's stuff. Just because like there's things that I do for myself that other people might not do. For example, the arrow keys are disabled. So if I'm using, I cannot use arrow keys. So the way I taught myself to use the moving keys in BIM was by disabling the arrow keys. So I don't use the arrow keys to move. And that's kind of what I'm doing somewhere in here. Is like I'm disabling the arrow keys, just straight up disabling it. Yeah, so this is how it looks like, right? There is no arrow keys. So if you want to try it out, I would probably, unless you really want to do this, I wouldn't do it. As a beginner, it was very hard for me to get used to it. And now every time I use any BIM, any editor, so pretty much now it's like memory, it's like stuck in my memory, where if I use any editor, I struggle. Like there's no way for me to get used to it. Like if I use Atom or anything like that, I'm trying to move with the BIM keys, and that doesn't work half of the time. But that would be the only suggestion. Is like, just try to change the different. Like if you are using it, try to pick what you like. Okay, so we have to do pass too. Okay, so pass, nickname, and channel. Okay, do I have everything I need? Okay, so I think I do have everything I need. The only thing, oh wait, do I have a name for it? No, I don't have a name for it, so I should give a name to it. IRC. If you are seeing Go for the first time, this is how you describe a structure. This is how you describe a structure, a JSON structure, using JSON struct in Go. Wait, why am I doing this weird? I would change that. I'm doing some weird like things that I shouldn't be doing. Like I'm naming my keys weirdly. I mean, I can just create a new structure. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cool. 2 more games and I unlock a new hero. Do you mean Fall Guys? Oh, Valorant. Okay, so I'm gonna just create a new struct and just dump most of this into the struct. Cool. By the end of it, you're gonna start playing rank in like 3 more days. So I'm just refactoring this a bit because like it looks weird. Some of these things look weird because I'm appending this here. So I'm appending IRC when I can just make it a new structure. I'm just gonna create a new structure now because I'm gonna go and open that file in a bit. And when I open it, I just want to make sure that that information is correct. Server URL. As you can see, I don't have to append, like I don't have to do the weird thing I was doing here or here. It's just giving it its own structure. Maybe it's just way easier. Server URL. In our name. And the channel that we want to connect to. Let's just not call it bot name, just call it off. Off. We don't need to do any of that here stuff that we were doing. So off server URL, name, channel. So the channel we want to connect to. It's off. And channel. So I'm just declaring how the structure in the JSON file is going to look like. So in Go, you have to use tags to declare what the functions themselves are going to be doing. One thing that happens is that since you're using tags, you have to make everything public. Okay, so we have the URL, sorry, the auth token, the server URL, the name, and the channel. Okay, so I think we're good there. I'll remove all of this. One thing to remember for myself is I won't be able to restart our bot account anymore after these changes. Yeah, so I won't be able to restart it because I changed too much, and maybe the next thing we need to do is just move on to using this the bot account for it. Okay, so now that we have that, we start building our authentication. So the way to authenticate is code here. Let's go back here. So we just have to add a command to it. So Parse Command. I guess I just have to ask and make. Why am I appending command on this? Okay, I don't think I need this. Kind of feels a bit weird. So just call it cap. I'm just gonna stick to conversion. So just cap, pass, make. Okay. And here, so let's go with this for now. So what this is doing is just creating giving us the formatting for the string that we need to pass. We just want to make sure that we have the right formatting for it. So that means that we do when we start doing conversions, we could do two things. We could check if the command that the caller is passing us is correct, and then from there we could start doing other things too, right? So we could start doing like here, I'm using the way I'm sending the command is through here. So I could do cap. That's kind of what I'm thinking about here. Cap, and we have one more. Okay, so now here we are going to use send. So same way as before, error dot send, and here we're going to pass. The pass is the one that's going to be doing the messaging, and then what I have to pass is the message itself. So what the message itself is just token. And we can look at our caller for our send function. So we ended up making the send function. So our send function is just like pretty much just doing that, right? It's just sending the message so it does that, and we just need to check for the error. So we're gonna have to check for the error for all of them. It's kind of repetitive, but kind of how it goes those things for error handling. But this we changed the name to it, so now it's just off. It is ours. No, you're off. Okay, so it's complaining because it hasn't picked it up yet. So we're just gonna do our next one, which is nickname. Might be doing too much. And we name. And here we're gonna put name. Nick, and Nick has a nick, and I will do this where I pin the channel number myself, myself. So let's do that. So the way that our send function works, it handles pretty much all the different conversions that we have to do. So we just have to pass things directly to it. So that's our nickname. The next one. No, nickname doesn't take anything. If I mess up there, we'll have to go fix it. But first, let me do join. Okay, join is the channel that we're going to join, and that's the one we needed. Okay, so join does all the heavy lifting. Okay, so we have the password, we have the nickname. Now we have join. So this is join. Then we have join. Okay, so Nick, which is so that's kind of the joining part of it. So we'll probably not end up running any tests for this. Let's see. So let's just make sure that our current tests don't break. But I just want to jump into doing that. I'm up the conf. I just want to make sure that we start writing our showing the messages into the chat, into stream as an overlay. And then we can start building, like cleaning things up on Friday. So for now, it's just mostly like just get it to work. If it works, we can then move on to the different things. I spelled off wrong. Okay, that is helpful, and we do it here too. Oh, join wrong. Yep. Okay, so join works. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just making sure that we authenticate correctly with the servers. With the Twitch server. In our so the way we have it hooked up right now, is our chatbot is connected through this logic here, right? What I want to do is change it a bit more, make it a bit more helpful. Cool. We have our new subscriber. Thank you, MNIM dashes 3 dashes. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So what we're doing right now is just creating a client. So we want to create a package that's a client. And then the way it's going to work is that we're going to use that client to use it for our bot, right? So when different messages comes through, we want to be able to send those over and making sure that they work. So the ones that our bot currently supports is we need to support ping. We need to support like when we get a message for a reply, and then join. So that's kind of the ones that we're gonna need for now. We also might need the one we need in the future will be like when events happen, but for now we're not gonna worry about events. We're just gonna worry about like the main ones that let us run our current bot the way it is. Okay, so we need private message. So and what I'm doing now is just like I want to support it for here too, because then we could just start using it there. Oh wait, no, don't need it to have it here first. So let me just finish adding this one so I don't forget. But we don't need it here first. We need it here first. We need to reply to the pings. That will be the only thing that we need to get to work. So let's do that. So the only thing we need to get to work for our client to work correctly is when the Twitch server pings us, we have to return a pong. And if we do that, we are able to update our overlay. So the logic that is handling like all the overlays that you guys see, so like the top banner, and then the alerts. If we support that, if we could update our current server that is doing all that work to connect to the Twitch server twice. So we can try that. That's what I'm gonna do next. So I have to turn this, take this here, and put it here. So this is gonna let us handle the pings. Okay, so we go back here, and we don't need to teach anyone. We don't need to let anyone know that we're getting ping, because we're gonna handle that ourselves. So we're gonna handle the ping. So we handle the ping, and the way that we handle pings is by just returning back the message. So we're gonna return back the message. Okay, so we have the message here, but in our case, we're gonna use our client. So c.send, right? And what we need to send are a command. So pong. Okay, so this should work. So we are now able to. So we have two things. We are able to get messages. So we are able to know if we're signed in. Which I need to print. I'm gonna keep printing the lines for now, just to make sure that things are not being weird. But so I might end up just messing up my token, but that's okay. We could fix it later. Okay, so the way it's gonna work is we're gonna now take this client. We're gonna close this. We're gonna make sure that our tests are running correctly, and we didn't break anything. So we're gonna run our tests. Okay, so that's failing. Let's see. It's because our file changed. So change some of these things, and redo. So we just need to change some of the things because I ended up changing a lot of the naming on the configuration file. So I should fix it now. Okay, I'm gonna leave the hard coding because we are gonna get rid of this file at some point. Okay, so there's that, and then there is the URL. The URL is handle. So the URL is handled here, so we just want to change that URL. Okay. We don't need to call it server URL, just URL. Okay. And we go to config, back, and okay, so change this here from server URL to URL. That change. And so for now, I think that is enough. So I'm gonna put the standby screen on because I'm gonna go and edit some secrets. So we need to have an authentication key for our bar account. So what I'm gonna do is just put it standby screen, and then I'm just gonna go on to just make the changes. Maybe at the same time that I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna run an ad so people that are coming in and watching from outside don't get to see the preloading ad. So sorry about that. Yeah, so so for context, if there is no pre-roll, if there is no if I don't run an ad, everyone that comes in and for the first time will see an ad. But if I run an ad every like 20 minutes or every 30 minutes, new people that are coming in will get we didn't see that ad. So we will have to everyone will have to watch an ad every 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I sometimes forget to run it, but the thing that I noticed is since I became an affiliate, less people join the stream because they pretty much just drop off when they see the ad, which is kind of it's disappointing because I have no way to turn it off. So right now I'm editing a secret file which has like all the secrets that I'm working on, and that's why the standby screen is on, because if I show the tokens, I will have to refresh the tokens because then anyone could get access to one of my accounts, and we don't want that. So that's pretty much what is happening right now. So I'm just editing the file, making sure that it has everything that we need for us to make requests to the Twitch servers. And like just making sure that in general it's like in a good state. And I'm also comparing it against our chatbot that is happening right now. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. So the thing I'm doing right now is just I'm going through it. I'm making sure that it's working correctly. Oh, sorry, not working correctly. I'm making sure that the file itself, the JSON file that has the configuration. I will show you a sample of a file of how the configuration looks like. But the configuration itself has like a token that lets me connect to the chat, and then that token, if anyone gets it, they could just use it for to connect to the chat using my account. So that's kind of why the standby screen is there. So right now I'm just going to the file, making changes, making sure that it's valid JSON, and making sure that it works correctly. So let's. Okay, I made that change. Now I just want to make sure that it works correctly, and to make sure that it works correctly, I have to go and print out everything that is inside of our configuration file, including that token. So first I will print it out, then if it prints correctly, I'm gonna just clean the screen so we don't have anything weird in there that we shouldn't have. Okay, that looks right. So I'm gonna go back and remove that print statement that we added. But there's most likely I'm gonna end up opening the file anyway, so I'm gonna have to reset the token anyway. So that will be the point of it. Yeah, you should continue seeing the standby screen while I am editing this file. I am done editing it, so I'm gonna show my screen again. Cool. Okay, so I made the changes. Our main file now have access to. So this is a main file that is handling all the overlays that we have. So it's handling when a new follower joins. It is handling when a so yeah, it's handling when a new follower joins. It shows us the overlay for like so and so just started following us. It also handles like the let's see, we can go here. So it handles the header, so the header bar that we have here on top. It handles that too, and it updates it. So during the stream, we could see people getting updated as we go. Cool, we reached our goal of 70 followers. Awesome. Thank you so much to new followers. Okay, cool. So that's kind of where we are now. So the goal now is to start using our Twitch chat client that we just ended up building for the past like week and a half. We're gonna start using it for making requests. So the thing that we need to do now is we need to start waiting for events from the chat, and then when we get an event, we are then gonna put it into our event server. So we created this event server as part of one of our first streams, where the event server just it just listens for events. So when an event happens, it's just gonna put it in here. What we're gonna do is take some of those events and just for the chat and just put them in here. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure that our chat server, our chat client works correctly. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start using it. So let's see, do we have something named client in here? No. So let's do I thought we did. We do have something called client, which is still the API. So Twitch API, and then just chat client. I'm just gonna call this API client. Because if I name a client right now, the thing that's gonna happen is that it's gonna override the package itself. So I want to avoid that right now. So I'm gonna create a new one and call it chat client. And it is client. Wait, is it client? No, we have is IRC that client. Just new, and it takes a big, so we pass our conf to it. Okay. Then we import it. Nope. Oh, is it because of the main file? Yep, it's because of the main file. Okay. I might end up breaking our bot account a bit more by just moving it to something else. So we're gonna rename this file. So you can have two packages with the same information. So we're just renaming this to go that. So I could show what is happening. So I need to rename this to RRC. But then it's gonna complain. Go run. Oh wait, didn't complain. I was expecting it for it to complain. Why didn't it complain? I guess that's good. So it didn't complain there. So I should fix the test too. It might complain later on. So if anything, I'm just gonna end up moving the file. So here, when that is there. Oh, because we did. So we renamed it. So now we have to make it deeper. RSC, and then here. Oh, Okay, that should do it. So now we are here and works. Yeah, so it's complaining because we have too many main files. So we have a main. So I have to move it. So let's go move it. I'm gonna move it to backup. I'm gonna back it up, and it should make it easier for us to deal with. That's kind of the main issue that we were having before. So okay, so the way that this works is now that we have done that, we could authenticate. So we're just gonna do chat client that off. Okay. Wait, why does it? It returns to value, so it is error. So we do if error not null. We are in our main file, so it's okay for us to do fatal. So we're gonna do log.fatal, and just means that the program is gonna terminate completely. So okay, so there is that, and we need to pass the error to it. So okay, so we pass the error here. It fails to connect to it, then we authenticate. So hopefully it doesn't print the secrets to the string, but it most likely will. Why is it? I ended up adding extra. Yeah. So, and I forgot to add the error here. So if anything happens, it's just gonna print. If it fails, it's gonna print the message back to us in a weird way. So let's hope that doesn't happen. If that happens, I will just reset. Maybe I should get ready to reset the token. Because if this means that if anyone takes that token, if you see the token in the stream, you're gonna go and you're gonna be able to just do you're gonna be able to use it. So let me get ready to just invalidate it in case it happens. Okay, cool. So let me find where it is. Okay, just in case. Finger crossed that doesn't happen. Oh, first we have to shut down the server. This way. Wait. So if there's new followers, I'm just gonna look at the events on the Twitch chat itself. Make sure that everything. Okay, so we are here. So we're gonna do go run main. So this one it starts everything. It starts all the servers and all the different things that we're doing. Maybe we should put one that says authenticating. I'm not sure if it did authenticate. Okay, so print chat. Okay, so we are now gonna listen for chat events. Okay, that is weird. Let's see if we see all the events that we're supposed to be sending. Wait, did I remove my print statement? I did not. So maybe it's spelling somewhere else. No. Happening. So let's see. So let's say check if our commands are being sent. I will not print the output of the commands because one of them will have our token in it. So we're gonna just print the string version of the token. If there's anything there. So it is sending it. But are we getting a reply back? Question. Okay, so something terminated everything. What was that? So something terminated my tmux session. That was weird. So my tmux session got resetted. I wonder if I got a key that's doing that. And let's see what we're getting back. Okay, so you're right into the connection. Is the connection failing? Failed to create connection. Wonder if I'm connected to the right server. There was a whole time I spent like 10 minutes looking to make sure that it's connected to the right server. Okay, so we want to connect it to this one here. So go up here and we do client, do conf, then we do switch that URI, and then we just checked the URI. Making sure we're connecting to the right place. That this is running. Here. That's the right one. Why we're not getting a response back? Okay, so we are right into it. Then we're sending all of those. Oh, wait, that depends, but I will fix it. Off. Oh, I didn't start it. That's why. So we need to call start. So start is the. So we need to have a way for us to block. Start does all the work that we need to be doing. So we need to start it, and then that's why we're not seeing any messages. So the goal will be to start it, and then it fell because there's no space with nickname. Okay, at least it didn't print. Okay, so we don't support the errors because we want to do this. We want to panic, but the cool thing is like at least it didn't print the token, did it? No, it didn't print the token. That's good. Okay, so we need to make our token here nickname add a space to it. Okay, so that kind of works. Okay, so now we are connected through our okay, that's working. So now we could do cool things like this. So I'm gonna do something cool now. So where are we sending messages? Goals. I think goals is sending messages. Handler for the event. Refresh. It's the one doing it. Let's see this. And let's close this now. Okay. So we are now able to send messages. So okay, so it's doing message. And what is message? Message has a type, and okay, so we need to add a type. So we're gonna do new chat message, and we're gonna add it to here. Chat message. So when we get a chat message, we add it here. So our messages are gonna show up like this. Okay, so we are getting close to be able to send messages. So the way it's gonna work is that we're gonna take a message back here. I saved. Okay. Okay, it's saved. And then it takes a string. So okay, so how do we do this? We start our server. We are listening for events. We need to do a for loop. So we want to listen for new events. So we do a for loop. And so let's just send it to a goal routine because it's going to be blocking. So since it's going to be blocking, we're going to send it to a goal routine. Since it's a goal routine, we could do now something like we could do the for loop. And inside of the for loop, we are going to listen for chat. We're going to listen for on message. And this is going to return a message. Just call it message. It's going to return a message. Okay, so we have a message. Then we have like all the labels and like all the tagging. So I wonder if maybe we shouldn't do any parsing in the front end. We should do all the parsing on the back end. So that might be the best way to do it. So we have message, and then let's turn it into a JSON. So we're gonna use JSON. So let's look at the JSON that Golang JSON on Marshall. The structure. So we're just gonna send the whole structure to it. So we're gonna have to do some work on the structure itself, but you can use Marshall. Okay, so we have a structure. Let's do this. So just gonna do this here. I'm gonna take that there. Then now we do message. And now we have a set of bytes. And okay. What did I call the event server? Call it event. So we're gonna do event and then message. Send it. Okay. Here we're gonna do event that message. So we're gonna add a event into our we're gonna send an event into our stream server. And the way you send events is by using. So you receive a message like this when you have a combination of equal sign and then this here, and then you send an event by doing the same, by putting the channel that you want to send the event to, and then using the same kind of arrows, and then you add the value to it. Our channel is expecting a string. So sorry, we're gonna create a new value here. I'm just gonna call it E. So we're gonna send E to it. We're gonna declare E here, which is a type string that message. So and then the type will be new power. So type here will be string that follower, not followers, that message. It's a new chat message, and then inside of the text, we're gonna do string B. So we're gonna pass B to and B is JSON. Cool. So do that. Then we're gonna put it down here. Stop it. Then we're gonna start it, and we are gonna here watch. Get connected is doing something. Okay, see if we send happens. Message. And then he send the message to the client. Wait, which one do you connect to? Okay. That one. It said he sent a message. Oh, right here. Cool. So it looked like it worked. So we got a command type, which we don't really need, so we could omit it. We had which is always going to be the same one. It's going to be message. Then we have user. So let me make this bigger. So I ended up making it a bit too big. Okay. So we have the username, the channel, and then we have like the tags, and then the message itself. So let's just clean up the labeling a bit for it. So we have to go back to our parser, and we have to tell the Go Marshall package how to handle it, how should the structure of the JSON should look like. So we have, okay, so first we look how we are on let's see. Cool. So if you want to ignore something, you just add it like this. So we're gonna ignore that. Then here we're gonna do username, name. I'm just gonna turn all of them into lowercase. Then channel, and then message tags. Okay. We should restart it. Cool. So we are now getting messages when we type in chat. Again, that's a new one. Oh, it's better if we let's do this because it will be better. So if we do, oh, I never removed that. Let's look at one of the JavaScript files. Notify, and then yeah, so we're gonna create an event here and listen for a new. We are gonna listen for new chat message. So that one's gonna give us a chat message. Then we console log e. We're gonna print out what e is. Oh, here. Okay, so we're connected. We are listening for the event, and now if I send another message, we'll be able to get information about that message. Cool. So this is how it looks. So we have data, and then we just have to turn data into a JSON. We just have to use JSON stream file. JSON parse, and then we could get all that information into it. And then we got a message that I sent, and then I have the display name that we got. So we could just start showing it now. Like I could take like 5 minutes. Let's see. Famous last words. Okay, so we're gonna be going to our overlays. And then here we're gonna create one for chat. So I'm just gonna copy one of these ones. So I'm gonna copy the header and call it chat HTML. Then I'm gonna create a new JSON file and call it chat.json. .js. So we're changing from a bit from TypeScript into JavaScript and HTML here. So here we just need to create a function that will call itself. And the reason we want to do this is just because I might need to use some async calls, and this is one of the best ways to do it. And we're gonna start by copying this here, and by copying this. And here and then we're gonna go to our chat HTML file, and we're gonna do import our chat file. Probably get rid of header. Okay, so the way it works is gonna work is I'm just gonna append it here. For now, I'm gonna append it, and it's gonna be like a spam or something like that. So we're using. So let's go and learn how to do a element. Nice. So the whole time I've been streaming, you've been playing Valorant. Nice. I hope you rank at this point. No, you can rank. No, it's okay if you're playing. Excited that you're playing. Oh, I know, I know. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I just thought it was cool. Diff. And here we're gonna do data. We're gonna create a value data that JSON that parse, and we're gonna send if that data in there. Then we can just print it out for now. I know, I know. I'm glad you got a new character. Which one do you unlock? Also, you're helping me. I am. It's not headers. Yeah, I didn't save it. You're helping me test this shot. So you can see the messages here. Do you see the messages? What do you think? We just have to make them show up somehow. So let me take off some of these JavaScripts, CSS stuff. So it's working. We just need to append it to the body. So we are gonna do on that. We're gonna clone it. If that. Wait. Yeah, look, it's working correctly. I just have to print in the screen. Also figure out like how it's gonna look. But I will do that probably Friday. Let's see. So we know how to. So let's do. And oh. So I'm not gonna clone it for now. I'm just gonna append it. So we're gonna do. And we're gonna create a new div. We're gonna append it. And we want to append it on top. So JavaScript. Oh, I forgot most of the JavaScript tags. So bear with me. Append to top. So we want new messages to show up on the top. No, we want messages to show up. This is fine then. We document that body, that and style, that div, sorry. And then div that inner text. We are gonna do two things. We're gonna say the name. So symbol data that. Oh, I mean like show it up here. So I will show you how I'm gonna do it. Where we want to do it. So we want to do. So we don't want to use your username because your username is different than the one that shows up in the chat. So we want to use your display name. And that comes as part of the tag. So we're gonna do tags that here. Just better. Okay, so this is gonna be username. I'm gonna close that. Okay, and then we're gonna do the message. So we're gonna do that, and then data that message. Okay, so let's see. Say something else. I could just send. No, it's not Python, it's JavaScript. So I'm doing JavaScript. So I'm doing JavaScript in HTML now. Okay, so that's sent. So, oops, I didn't refresh my page. So we something here. Let's see else. Yeah, so it's very tiny, way tiny, but this is how it looks. Oh, so I'm not sure. I haven't done Python in a while, but that's how it looks. Do what? Yeah, to push up. Yeah, so that works. Now let's add it to the stream. So we need this URL. I'll get it back. Okay, so I'm gonna disable this here. Do you know what time it is? No, I'm not sure. What time is it? So this is my OBS configuration. So I'm gonna add a new group and call it chat. And we want the chat to be next to the alerts. No, chat under alerts. Okay, and then we're gonna add a new source. We're gonna add a browser source here, and we're gonna be chat messaging. Okay, so this is what we have. For now, I'm just gonna do that size. Oops. Wait, it didn't change, so that's good. So I'm gonna do studio mode because it's gonna be confusing. Wait, it's not changing. Oh, I see why. Okay, so we changed it, so I don't think we need studio mode. I'm gonna enable preview, which is gonna be trippy. Then we're gonna see our source for yeah, Slack. Okay, so this is our source here. Then here we are gonna remove some stuff. So we're gonna remove the overlay. Remove one. It is almost dinner time, so I'm almost gonna get off, but I want to see this working. So what you're seeing here is me trying to get this to work before I go to dinner. Okay, you should say something. So this is working. We need to make sure that it shows up here. So it's very tiny. You barely see it. Do you see it? It's so tiny. Okay, so let's make it a bit bigger. So it's very tiny. So I'm gonna make it bigger. Div that class. I forgot all my syntax for JavaScript for dealing with this. So that add that. Oh yeah, add. We're gonna add a new class and we're gonna call it messages. Message. We're gonna go here. If this is mark. Oh, I shouldn't do this. I did this last time and it just ended up being very hard. I'm just gonna create a new CSS file. Yeah, so it's very tiny. I'm gonna make it bigger, and then we're gonna find someone to rate. But first, let me make the chat bigger because it's working. Okay, so that's there. And we're gonna go here. Very tiny messages. You see the tiny messages? They look very tiny and no one could see them. You would need a magnifying glass to be able to see it. So what is going on right now? What is happening is that our Twitch client is getting messages from the Twitch chat servers. Is then forwarding those messages through our event server that we created in the first 2 or 3 days of the stream when we started streaming. And now what is going on is that it's then is being printed as an overlay, so tiny overlay here that has like all the information that is going on. But maybe so I'm not streaming tomorrow and Thursday. So what is going to happen is Friday when I stream again around 3 p.m. Eastern, we are going to make some improvements to this, right? So we're gonna make it look presentable. So I'm gonna try to make it bigger. You just have to send messages. Just keep sending messages, and then we will figure out how to make it work. No, wait. No, don't spam. Wait, why is it? It's not making it bigger. Wait, it's not making it bigger. Something is wrong. Something is missing. That's not. Wait, that was. I will tell you when to do that. Okay, so it's not adding the class for some reason. Why is? Oh, I didn't save the file. Okay. Give me a second. Don't do it again. Don't do it yet. Do it yet. Oh wait, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look good. Give me a second. That doesn't right. Chat. Okay. It looks weird though. Oh wait, I messed up. It looks weird. It doesn't look bigger. It looks. It's not gonna scroll. Yeah, it's not gonna scroll. We're gonna fix that too. Yeah, it's not gonna scroll. We're gonna fix that next time. So that's weird. It's doing some weird stuff. Give me a second. Let me refresh. Oh wait, the URL changed. So it's doing some weird stuff, but we're gonna fix that Monday. Sorry, not Monday. Friday. We will fix it. Okay, go for it. So bigger. Am I free after? Probably not. I have to go eat dinner. So send a bunch of messages. Can you see it? No, wait, it's messed up again. Okay. I am not sure. I'll let you know. So it's supposed to be bigger, but it's not showing up bigger. So still tiny. Let's just make this bigger. Yeah, it's being weird. But we could get our messages into the chat now. So it works. We just need to figure out some kinks on the styling, which I will do next week. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna go find someone to raid. It doesn't scroll, so even if you say a bunch of things, it's not gonna show up. But thank you so much for watching. Let's see if anyone is doing some cool stuff. Okay, great. But yeah, today was fun. I did an extra hour because I was enjoying it so much. So thank you so much for chatting and hanging. So let me go find someone. Let's see. Okay. Cool. I like this guy a lot, so he's working on. Oh, he's doing JavaScript. So what we were just doing is also JavaScript. So let's go raid this guy. Again, thank you so much. Make sure to say hi in the chat. And yeah, I will see you Friday. And the chat will show up in the stream now. See ya.